in Judaism, we have this kind of constant struggle between the ideas of predestination and that of free will. Like how much of our lives is predetermined, is determined by God? Are we just kind of living something out according to a bigger plan? And how much of our lives are like totally in our hands that we're able to choose what we're doing and we're able to see the consequences as a result? And this comes up very dramatically on Daf 50 of Yevamot. We have the question of, is the length of your life, is this preordained? Do you have like a set period that you've been given to live in? Or really, are your actions what determine how long you live? So we have a situation that has to deal with the Yeshayahu, and it's a pretty wild scene that we have in the Bible where the prophet is sent to tell the king, you are going to die. Pretty clear prophecy, right? Prophet says it, comes from God, the king should die. But then the king runs after the prophet and like begs that he should be like released from that. And essentially, why was he going to die? He was going to die because he refused to have any children. He'd learned prophetically that his children, he's going to have the evil king Manasseh. We talked about in the last video, there was this evil king that was going to come from him. So it's like, you know what? I'm just not going to have kids. I don't want to give birth to this evil king. I'm not going to have kids. Therefore, you can't get me. So the prophet comes to him and says, look, we have a commandment. You're supposed to have children. You're going to die. And the king is like, okay, look, the prophet's coming to me, telling me I have to have kids. I'll go ahead and have kids. And he actually says, you know what? Says to the prophet, let me marry your daughter. Here I am. I'm a good guy. Your daughter's the daughter of a prophet. Between the two of us, we should be able to have holy kids, right? Trying to get out of that whole thing about this evil kid he's known is going to come from him. Doesn't work. But in any event, we have this whole thing about he's told he's going to die. And then when he repents and says, okay, I'll have kids, he's told he's going to get an extra 15 years of life. So are we adding these 15 years? Is he getting 15 years more than he's supposed to be getting? And the Gemara kind of says, well, not really. Like he had a certain length he was going to live. And the prophet said, you're going to die early because you're not going to have what's coming to you. And therefore he kind of got his own years back is the answer. But is that the only answer? Is that the only way we can do it? Or can somebody actually live beyond their allotted time? Can we go and change the reality, change the predestiny, and be given the ability to lengthen our own years? And we talk a lot about things that you can do to order to lengthen your years. So it seems to be this tension, like does God know exactly how long we are going to live, or are our behaviors actually what determines how long of a life we are going to live?